So today's presentation is about my study on the relationship between the hyena's habitat and the water resources in Serengeti. So Serengeti is part of areas that at the East Africa, which is close to the equator. So there's only two seasons: the dry seasons and the wet seasons. We can study on two kinds of animals: the hyena spotted and the hyena striped. We're gonna find out if they're gonna get closer to the rivers or the water resources, or they'll go far away from it. So we're gonna take a 4 time period as to study the April of 2012 and the April of 2013, because that is the wettest month of the Serengeti, and October of 2012 and 2013, because that is the driest month of the Serengeti. Sorry. So we're gonna use the data that shared by the snapshot Serengeti. They can set a lot of cameras on the Serengeti, and when that spot the animals, they will be recorded, including the positions and the distance to the rivers. That's benefit for us. And we're gonna use the GMP tools to make the data visualize. Okay, let's go. So for the map I use here is the heat map. If we find more hyenas, the color on the pictures will go darker. So right here, at the distance to the rivers, 1500 to the 2500 is darker than other areas, which means that we can find more hyenas at this distance to the river. So this data is recorded during the April of 2012, which means that at that time period, the hyenas will get a little bit far away from the river. And this data is recorded during the October 2012, which shows that the hyenas will get closer to the rivers because of the dry. I'm not sure, but the data shows that they get closer to the river. This picture is weird, I know, because during the April 2013, we only found few of the data that related with hyenas. So maybe few of the hyenas stay closer to the rivers, but this and that will shows very different, very darker, because we just have few of the data. So just ignore this. This picture is weird. And this is the data recorded during the October 2013. So we can find that the most of the hyenas are spotted at 800 meters away from the rivers. And this is the overall data. I just erased those Chinese words. That's not the important actually. So right here we can find most of hyenas are stay like 500 meters away from the rivers. That's not much close, but also not that far from the rivers. This is a very interesting thing. Another interesting thing is that the hyenas are not get the water resources from the rivers. They get most of the water from their prey. So that means they don't need to get close to the rivers, and they can still get the water resources. That's a very fun fact, and I think that's the most important reasons that makes those data. That's the most important reasons, because they don't need river as a water resources. So this is the reference part. All the image I use in this presentation is available under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. I want to say thanks for all the authors that write the article that I read first, because they teach me a lot and help me to finish this presentation. I also want to say thanks for my partners and my lab TA because they teach me how to use the tools and answer my questions during I make this presentation, and also when I write down my lab report. I also want to say thanks for my best friend Cao Xue. She just explained some important questions when I try to analyze the data. I also want to say thanks for my roommates because they gave me a very quiet environment when I try to complete my lab report and to make this presentation. I want to say thanks for myself. To analyze the data is a very freaking hard work. Last, I want to say thanks for you if you still watch my videos. Thank you so much.